Yo, what's up, family? Hope everybody having a great week. Coming on here to give you guys a recap of week 36 focus, which was on initiation. So when we think about the word initiation, we talked about a lot of this on the call, where you go through different periods of your life, and especially when you're starting your faith, like when you're new to faith, whether you started when you was a kid, you knew to God, you went to church, or later on in life, when you have to go through that initiation process where when you start dedicating your life to God and everything just goes crazy, everything goes left, you start seeing all these different trials and tribulations that will come in your life, right? And it's easy for us if we take on a worldly mindset to say, okay, when things get hard, we're going to back away and go the other way. But when those trials and tribulations come in our life, we have to be so focused on God to realize that now that we're taking on those trials and tribulations with God with us, on the sides of us, on the front of us, on the back of us, that we're going to get through it. And somebody even said on the call, like, the first half of their life was like soft and they didn't have to go through much adversity because of the environment that they were placed in. But in the second half of their life, because they went through that adversity and they knew God in that moment, it was better than when they went through the points in their life where they had no adversity, because you have joy, you have understanding, you have confidence in God that regardless of what circumstances that we're put in, that God is going to see us through. And oftentimes while we're going through those things, it doesn't feel that way, but we know that there's victory on the other side of it because we have to endure it. And when we go through it and we endure those different situations, we get that spiritual endurance, that spiritual muscle memory, where we understand that, okay, adversity strikes, this is what I do. I need to read my word. I need to get closer to God. I need to seek him. I need to fast. I need to understand, hey, why this happened. I need to reflect and see where my opportunities are with this situation. And then from that point, I can be able to remove whatever things that has caused these things to happen in my life. And that's why it's so important to be connected to God. Because if you're not connected to God, that allows us to be in a place where we're going through life and we're doing it by ourselves. We can't do it by ourselves. And somebody as well talked about, when you try to go through life and you do it by yourself, what happens is that you end up in a place of being hopeless, because we can't win the fight by ourselves. We can't win the war, whether that's in the physical or the spiritual. We cannot do it by ourselves. We have God. Like, we have God on our side, and the scripture says, if God is for us, who can be against us? So that means that the devil we know is against us. That's our number one enemy. He's coming to kill, steal, and destroy. So if we have an understanding that we have to be with God, that's the only way we're going to be able to overcome that. We have to get connected and stay connected to God. So the scripture that was the focus for this week, while I'm pulling up, make sure that y'all like and subscribe, share with somebody. You never know who needs this inspiration. The scripture is 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 6 through 7, right? So it says, be truly glad. There is wonderful joy ahead, even though you must endure many trials for a little while. These trials will show you that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. So when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed to the whole world. Man, that's a lot in that scripture right there, a couple of scriptures, but I really wanted to give that to you, and then let's break it down. So when we hear the first part, it says, so be truly glad. There is wonderful joy ahead, even though you must endure many trials for a little while. Let's break that down. So even when you read that and someone says in their mind, like, there's wonderful joy ahead, even though you must endure many trials. To most people, from a carnal mind, a worldly mind, you're like, what? What joy comes from going through trials? What joy do we get from that? But that's, as we talked about earlier, when you're going through life and you're doing it by yourself, going through trials don't feel good. But when you go through trials with God, you get the joy that comes with it, because you know and understand, you start seeing God really moving. You start seeing the unseen and seen blessings in your life, the favor, the mercy, the grace, the covering, the protection. You start to really see it because you're connected to God, and you start to see those things happen in your life, where now when you go through those situations, you understand that they're for a reason. It's for a purpose. It's for preparation for what's to come in the future, for the blessings that are tied to that lesson. If you get what you're supposed to get in that trial, that's going to allow you to be better going in the future, not only for yourself, but maybe possibly for your marriage in the future, for your children in the future, for your friends, for your circle of family. Like, it's so many things tied to it. So that's that first part of that scripture. The second one says, these trials will show you that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. So boom, that tells you right there what I was just saying. The trials will show you that your faith is real, because you have to go through that initiation for God to understand and be able to say, I'm going to bless you. He got to know that we really rocking with him the way that we say that we're rocking with him. That's the same thing that goes if you go to buy a house. They want to make sure, like, hey, are you really going to pay this loan back when you get this loan? You got to sign paperwork. You got to go through all these different things, because they want to make sure that you are truly invested in you purchasing this house, putting this large amount of money on this loan. Same thing. Our life is more valuable than the gold, than the home. So at that point, God need to make sure that we go through some stuff to really understand, like, are you really for it? Because I already gave up my son for you. So I'm already telling you I'm here with open hands, but are you prepared for what it is to come on the other side of that? And he lets us know the value of our life. You know, he talks about gold going through fire, and our lives is more valuable than that. So we have to make sure that we go about our everyday life understanding that the value of our life. So value your life. The next verse, it says, so when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise, glory, and honor on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed to the whole world. So that key part in there where it says, when your faith remains strong. So that doesn't mean you let go, you give up, you become hopeless. No, it says when your faith remains strong. How does your faith remain strong? That means that you are constantly going forward in life regardless of what's happening around you. You don't lose hope. You don't lose faith. You don't lose joy. You don't lose confidence in God. Why? Because you've already been through this adversity point before. So each time, just because one adversity comes and it goes, doesn't mean that the next one not coming. They're going to continue to come in life. As you are a follower of Christ, you have to pick up your cross daily. That means that we have to be able to die to ourselves with the things that we want to do. We have to live a life that's representation of Christ. So that means that we're going to go through adversity. We're going to go through trials and tribulations. We have to be able to say to ourselves, like, I'm willing to go through this because I know there's victory on the other side. And I can just speak for myself. There's things that I went through in the past, and I'm like, in the moment, I'm like, God, why am I going through this? I remember these conversations as a freshman in college, and I'm like, why? Why is this happening? Why you say you love me, but why do I got to go through this? But then now, as an adult, as a man, as a husband, as a father, I thank God for those adverse moments, because now I'm able to do those things in every aspect of my life, whether I'm at work, whether I'm in my spiritual walk, as a husband, as a father, as a leader in the community, as a youth mentor. I have so many different things to pull from to bless other people and the people that I love. And I just thank God for that. So that's my encouragement I want to leave you guys with. Like, just know and understand that trials and adversity, they're going to come in your life. So it's your choice to say you're going to do them by yourself or you're going to do them with God. And we both know it's hard for us to do them by ourselves. And I'm only telling you this because I've been there as well, where I try to be Superman. And again, remember, that's fictitious. That is not real. That's not real. Superman is not a real character. So either Superwoman as well. We have to go to God and understand that God is our superhero. He is all of that. He is our creator. He's going to do everything and provide all that we need. And most importantly, giving us a heart that's turned towards him, that's soft towards him, that's willing to do his will and not our own. And most importantly, giving us the strength to endure whatever it is that we come in contact in life. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. And if you truly want to be involved, like I said, we have these sessions every single Sunday, man. We're doing this for the whole year. So if you want to join, just send me an email. We get you added, completely free, jumping on Zoom, having great conversation, making us all come closer to God. And before we go, I also want to share with you guys a reminder. These 2 new workbooks are now available on Amazon, Youth Mentoring 101. So if you are a parent, a teacher, a coach, a mentor. This is a workbook for middle school and high school students, giving them 52 weeks of different breakdown of content with questions that they have every single week to draw them closer to reaching their character goals, as well as a spiritual one as well. So giving the kids something to get closer and closer to God for the entire year. So these are perfect for back to school resources. Check them out on Amazon. Just type in Youth Mentor 101. You'll see these books pop up and check them out. So as always, man, I hope that y'all have a great week. To God be the glory. Peace.